Hello, hello, this is Barb from Studio B. This is our Monday painting. Today I'm going to, I found a picture in my collection on my Google pictures that I must have took some time ago, and it's a picture of some tulips. And there's just a little bit of a fence that is seen in the background. So I thought that would be a fun painting for today. It's a beautiful April-May type painting. So painting from nature, which is always fun. So I went ahead and put some blue sky background going, and see if I can get some paint out here. What that noise was. You're having a great Monday so far. We're supposed to get some rain later tonight, so I'm excited about that for sure. Alright, I'm just getting some colors out, basic colors. Show you my palette. So I have some cerulean blue, titanium white, some pink, which is called carousel pink, and brilliant purple. And I'm going to put out some primary red yet. This is our rosy red. And let's see, we might put out a little bit of our fire truck red here. And we'll need a little bit of yellow and probably a green. As you can see, I don't stick to just one paint brand. I have student soft body paints that you get like at Michael's or Hobby Lobby. Dick's, which is in Dick's is a art supply store also. So we've got quite a few choices. I'm going to put out some of this dark green and a light green. A lot of greens we can adjust ourselves, but it is nice to have the convenience of paint in a tube. So alright, I think that's good to get us started. So since I have my background started and it's pretty well dry now, I started to sketch in where my fence is going to be. And I'm going to use an angle brush to put my fencing in. I want just a light worn brown, light grayish brown fence here. It's been here a while. These tulips must have been planted a couple years ago, and they're coming up nice and full this time around. This is our little story we're putting together here. I'm going to add a touch of black to this to give it a little more grayed look. Now a lot of this fencing here will be covered, but I'm just going to kind of lay out where it would go. So this post, I think I'm going to have this post over the diagonal one. Gives that a little structure, architectural structure to the story we're making here with our we're gonna have tulips and some other little pretty flowers. And in the background of my picture, I'll have to post the picture. There's some soft pink flowering trees way up in the back. So let's go ahead and put in some of these soft looking trees. And the structure, of course, of the trunk stems, we just see a little bit of it. So I'm going to use a really thin detailed brush just to give us part of the story, some little bits here. We just need a little bit of this just so we know, so our eyes know what it is in the background. The picture is from the base, and it's going to catch the tulips going up. So we have, that's why this looks a little more diagonal than it probably would be otherwise. Give this a little more detail here. Alright, so now I'm going to use some white, just a touch of that carousel pink, quite a bit of white with it. Just going to pounce in some abstract things going on in the background. And my paper's trying to curl here. Let's see. Lay it flat. I'm going to have to tape it down, I bet. That would help. I'm going to have some varying of the pink, but I want it pretty light. Hope you are enjoying these midday painting times. This week it will be the next one today and Thursday. I really enjoy doing this every day. It's just not going to work with the other thing that I need to get done this week yet. Fingers crossed. Got to get my class I'm taking. Got to get it done. So I can check that off the list. In a couple weeks, on May 4th, I will be in Salina, and we're going to have a paint party. You'll be able to find the tickets in the events for Studio B and Smoky Hill Winery. They have a neat setup there in Salina, and we're just going to have a good time. The painting we're going to do, I have a sample here I can show you. Here, let's see. We're just going to give that a few little moments to dry there. But the camera's going to be really there. I think you can see this is what we'll be painting in Salina on May the 4th from 6 to 8 p.m. So if you'd like to join us for that, you can get your ticket on the event page. Okay, let's zoom back in for our painting here. If you like to paint a lot, just trying things out, I would suggest to get a little multimedia book like this. This is what I'm using, mixed media. So I've been able to use acrylic paint on it. Leave it open, let it dry. I'm going to put a piece of tape here to help it to dry flatter. And this way I can test out a new idea or something from a photo. Looks like we're still centered. All right. So next I'm going to decide how I'm going to put these tulips in. There's a lot in the photo and I don't want to put all of it in, but let's see. These are like the macro size instead of micro, it's macro. It's large proportion. So we're going to put a big tulip here. This is like the little frog's eye view looking up towards the sky. Put one there. Let's see, one here. 3 might be a good number, and then to have some filler little purple flowers or something, and a little bit of the stems and the greenery that go with tulips. So let's see. Okay, since I have that, I'm going to put some white on this one. Otherwise we will have the tree blossoms showing through. If you add a white on top and then put your color down, your top color will pop better. And that works really well with the lighter colors like your yellows, the light green. Those are a little more transparent. There is, if you get like the more professional type paints, this is basic student grade, but on the back it'll have a little square, and if the square is filled in all the way, I don't know if you can see this. Yeah, I think you can. That square, see it says opaque, so that means it's less see-through, and this one has the square has a half dark and half light, so that means it's more translucent, more see-through. The Deco Art brand that I use also, I haven't noticed that it has that indication on there. These pigments are pretty strong, so you might just have to test it out before you test it out on a scrap paper, or if you have a little canvas that you test things out for that purpose. What I would like to do is make a color chart, color mixing chart one of these times. That way I have a record of the paints that I use, what mixes well with different colors and how it turns out. Kind of take the guesswork out before I start a project. This macro view reminds me of that little children's story. What was it called? Thumbelina? I can't remember if she was supposed to be a little fairy or why she was so tiny. But she lived in the flower petals, I think. Okay. Rinse that out. Now I'm going to come over and pick up some of that yellow. This one I'm going to make yellow. So I would let this layer dry, and then I could go over it again to make the yellow stronger. Acrylic paint's about layering, so we want to remember that. Let's make one that's purple. Tulips are two-toned sometimes. I'm going to kind of change this shape slightly. Sometimes they kind of flare out more like a teacup, more than just a smaller cup. I think I would love to be in Holland to see all the tulip farms. That's on my bucket list. Sorry, I got quiet. I'm concentrating. Give this a little bit of that ombre effect. Colors graduating light to dark. And this one, let's make this other one our rosy red. And I have not cleaned the brush. Still have those other colors on it, the white and the purple. If I was going to do the bright fire truck red, type red, I would probably clean my brush before doing this. Okay, after a while, if you feel like you're just kind of moving the paint around, that's when you need to let it dry. Now I'm going to rinse my brush and work on the yellow one again. Added a touch of white to this yellow, so still wants to be see-through. And the petals at this view would be kind of translucent. Alright, gonna have to let that one dry again. Alright, let's start putting in the greenery. I have the dark green and some white on this brush. Alright, I want to keep my greens lower towards the base. And now I'm using this round brush. You could do this with one of the angle brushes, that would work well too. All right, let's see. This is just a relaxing time. I hope you feel that too. Sometimes on Monday we just don't want to talk a lot, I guess. Trying to give my greens different shading. Sometimes it's actually a shading situation where the light is getting on some of the stems more than others. And I can come in and add this brighter green. A little bit of a highlight. So when it comes to using your own photographs, I like to take several pictures at different angles and try to catch things as the light hits things differently. If it's in your own backyard or somewhere you go by frequently, try to do different times of day. Of course, with flowers, you gotta catch them quick, so maybe different times of day within the same few days. Otherwise, you might miss the bloom times, and sometimes you don't want to paint all the information that in your photograph. You do have that choice to edit from your own photographs. So, all right, that's getting okay there. So, trying not to turn the hairdryer on. I wanted to put something little right in here. See if I can just lay it on. I'm going to put some white down first. Just some little, I don't know what they're called. I don't think they're petunias. Just going to put white down first because of the purple against the dark green. With this white, the purple will pop a little more. Alright, I'm going to use this angle brush and put in some little bit different greenery down here at the bottom. And I'm just going to kind of tap it in. I have the white and the two greens actually on here. Just going to kind of tap it in. This green is actually lighter than what's in the photo, but I just want it to be obvious that there's some differences here. But it can be loosely done, a little bit abstract. You don't have to have all the botanical, scientific details. It's more of a artistic gesturing. Alright, I am sorry, I'm going to dry the white a little bit. Alright, I'm going to use the same round brush that I used to put the white around the petal. So now I'm going to layer in the purple. And the paint's going to take longer just to air dry. But I'm just pretty much I have the color on my brush and I'm just going to lay it down. Now I'm going to use a little pop of color. I'm going to use the end of my brush and that fire engine red, just to have some dress contrast here. Color pop. A little more purple here. Could just keep going and going. The lighter color. I left the purple on and just added some white, so I'm gonna get this soft lavender. I don't know what color, maybe you can call it lavender. All right. Well, that yellow is going to make me struggle a little bit today. I'm going to add a little white here and let it dry, and then I'll come back and add a little more yellow. Hope this gives you some inspiration to go out and take some photographs, maybe at your neighborhood park, or visit your neighborhood greenhouses. They're getting set up and open already, so go get some inspiration. I hope you have a good day. I'll see you on Thursday.